So we always video the demos and then we put them up onto YouTube so you can watch them. And sometimes they go up on Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes I don't know what time. Was it Saturday? I think I put them up on. That's when I forget to do them.
And they're not in date order either, are they, when you go on?
Well, they should be.
On YouTube, unless it's just me. I've gone to YouTube and it's like...
I'm sure you can probably search it. That means you have to go through all of them to look at them so you get inspired to do other things possibly. So, anybody been to Notre Dame? Yeah? Yeah? Anybody been since they've restored it? I mean, they've done it really quickly, haven't they? I don't know whether these got damaged in the fire, but it's quite a... Well, it looks a bit naughty, isn't it, this image? But there's lots of nice darks and lots of nice lights. Now, I'd like you to just have a go, first of all, of working directly onto the black paper with the white pencil or chalk, pastel pencil. Once you've done that, I've got all the other images, unless you brought anything of your own, some which are a bit more complicated. So then we can look at drawing it onto just like copy paper and then choose again. We can draw it out, make all the mistakes, and then once you've got your master one, we can then trace it onto watercolour paper or black paper or cartridge paper, depending upon what medium you want to use. But we're going to start off with white chalk. So it's quite a nice quick way of working. So what we're doing is we're going to draw or mark onto the paper the lighter areas. So if we look at our picture, we can see we've got light down the top of the horn, the top of the face, and we're going to leave the black like round here, round the back. Shadow areas, we leave that, we don't draw that. So sometimes when you first come to do white onto black, you sort of think, well, I'm drawing with a pencil, so I'm putting the darker bits in. We're leaving the darker bits and we're just adding the light. So you can keep your touch quite light at the beginning, and we want it to sort of fill the paper. So this is a bit uneven. I'm going to put something underneath there because it's a bit. Look underneath there. It's a bit spongy underneath there. It's a nice firm surface. So I'm going to start off just putting down the front of his horn. This is not quite as soft as the one I used previously, but that's alright. And you can get rid of this as well. If you go wrong, you can get rid of it. And also I said about a putty rubber. Putty rubber will lift off most of the pastel. So putty rubber is a bit different to your normal rubber, because normally we rub and we get rid of the pencil. Putty rubber is soft and we sort of lift the pastel off. We can sort of dab with it as well. A normal pencil rubber will end up just moving the pastel about. So putty rubber, you can knead it and get it into shapes as well, and eventually it gets impregnated with the pastel or charcoal, and you have to throw it away. So we're going to start with this horn here, and you can either watch first and then join in, or you can join in as we go. So I'm looking at the picture and I'm just putting the light bits in first of all, leaving the black. This is a creamy one, obviously this is. If I need to just refer where the horn is, the back of the horn, I can just keep that nice and light. So, done it over a bit. I'm not going to get this one is perhaps all the back in too well. So again, I'm just sort of blocking it out a little bit just to help me get my positions in. Very pointed elbows. I've gone a bit, I can't get all mine in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start again. So I'll get rid of that because I've meant to move my head over a bit. So we can always redo things. If we make mistakes, it doesn't matter, we can get rid of it. And I'm going to move my head over a bit and perhaps not do it quite as big because I want to get it all in. So don't worry about making errors. That's how we learn, isn't it? So I've got my it's got this very knobbly arched back there, bottom of his face there. So just like we do with pencil, we're blocking it in first of all, and then, well, just putting a few marks rather than blocking it in, because we might be putting pastel where it's going to be darker. So let's see, where's that nose back here, isn't it? So just putting those in, and then he's got these very long claw-like fingers. He's got the body here that comes down. Get his other hand there, and then we've got the top of the building that he's sitting on. So look at it, make any adjustments that you think you might need to. Perhaps that's a bit. You can get rid of them with your finger or use your rubber. And now I can begin to add the white light. So we're very light up here, so we're going to put that on. And light on the horn. And then we need to leave the darkness around the eye. The light is catching it just there as well. A little bit there. You can use your fingers to smudge it a bit. There are particular like cotton buds or stumps that you can use to spread pastel. You can blow off the excess as well, and if you go, you can also use, say, your putty rubber to just lift off little bits as well. So top of his ear is catching the light. Smudge a bit around there. It's surprising how quickly you can get something down onto the paper, because we're not having to draw all the shadow, we're just drawing the light, and we're using a nice big block of pastel. So it's great, again, when you've got big areas. Pastel's always nice for doing figurative work as well. So we've got the light coming down the top here. We can smudge that top of the sort of claws we can put in. Obviously, if you're using pencil, you can be a little bit more controlled. Easier sometimes to use the pencil to get the definition. Very dark under there, apart from a little bit of light catching just there. And then the second arm coming down here, catching the light. protruding spinal area. You get a lot of dust on your picture as you go as well. Just blow it off or shake it off. So we've got, I don't know what this is, it's like fur or something. So we're leaving the black and adding those lights. This is when it's great to do things nice and quickly. Got a little bit of light there. How you all doing? All right. Got a little bit of light around the eye there. Got a little bit on there. Got that one tooth. Some of the bits on the claws. Of course, if you find you can't get your black enough, we can always go back in with a black pastel. That is an option as well. Back and have a look. Sometimes you need to just step away from your work and have a look at it. A bit taken out here. I think this butcher rubber might be get a bit full of pastel. You can shape it to try and get into there. Clean up around it a little bit, and that's a quick little pastel piece. A smudge if there's any sort of mid-tone areas, just smudge those a bit. If you've got any bits that are light and should be dark, just remove those. I say, don't be too. Don't expect it to be like nice and crisp, because we're working with these soft pastels, which are do really, really detailed things with it. Well, I can't anyway. I'm sure some people do. We'll just take that out there, give that little bit of darkness into there.